wanted to change the world, then why not quit and feed the hungry? The people for millennia have needed music to survive, and that is why I promised John that I will not feel guilty to play your favorite Beatles song and make the subway fall in love. They're only $19.95, that isn't lots of money. Play until the sun comes up and play until your fingers
Loving
suffer.
it. New York's going strong. They're not going anywhere anytime soon, man. They're committed to seeing this weather through all winter. If you're not already doing everything you can to love and support this movement, begin now. Now is the time. I mean, this is what's cool. What's cool is these people here, you know, and at every other occupation who are conscious creatures, man, who are out here, you know, learning from each other and actually growing and, you know, not limiting themselves with the clutter of trying to be something that they're not, you know. So all I could say to those people who have yet to really, you know, get it is do your homework, man. Go online, do your research, figure it out, and do whatever you got to do to inspire yourself to build the courage to actually come out to one of these occupations, because you just can't get it online.
We need to change the way in which we do business in this world. We are destroying the environment. We are cutting funding to our schools while we increase bailouts for banks, and we spend money on wars that are not taking us anywhere. If politicians took money from the banks and they facilitated these kind of activities that are causing all this pain, I would like them to face some kind of justice, because although the things that the banks have done are unjust, they somehow have changed the law to make their activities non-criminal.
So-called Arab Spring was a huge inspiration for a lot of the protesters here in this country, because I think they saw what was going on there and said, you know, if folks in tyrannical regimes in third world countries are willing to, you know, take the risk of protesting and take the risk of getting killed, you know, or worse, by their protests, then surely in the freest country in the world here, we ought to be able to do the same thing. The LA City Council has been very supportive of the protesters for a while now, but at the same time, they are sleeping there in the park, and there's problems associated with that. There's a lot of human waste to deal with. You know, there's a lot of garbage to pick up and so forth. You know, so I think the city's kind of beneficent approach to it may be wearing thin. You know, they may be taking another tactic really soon, and they may start clearing protesters out of there. You know, are they really benefiting their statement by staying there and getting arrested, or, you know, would they have just as strong a statement if they went home, came back the next day, and continued to protest to people, you know, that are actually awake and listening? You know, and arguably there's not much to be gained by them sleeping in the park overnight and breaking the law in that way. What's interesting to me, and a movement that you didn't mention, you know, that I would like to compare it to, is the Tea Party movement, because they're also focused on economic inequality in their own way. I think their discourse about it, their understanding of the issues is much more limited, and unfortunately I think it's much more manipulated by certain groups than what we're seeing in the Occupy movement. But they really, you know, if there could be some way for them to bridge the communication barrier between the right and left there, they could really put their heads together, because there's no question that they're both outraged by the same issues, which is that lots of people are out of work and that the folks in charge of the government are doing things with our, you know, collective money that they probably shouldn't be. I think they can find really strong points of agreement on the fact that, you know, the country's wealth is being stolen essentially by folks, and, you know, something should be done about it.